It's gonna be good, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be better, I can't wait. Making my move, live for the day, sing like a bird, fly like a plane. Come spill with me, Jenny D.
Beautiful people, thank you for joining me. Another episode on Spill With Me Jenny D podcast. It's April, spring flowers, bring May flowers. I'm so excited. I know, right? Before I introduce my guest today, I would like to spot out my spotlight supporters. I think that was all in like one word. So my spotlight supporters for April, thank you so much to Dion Malish from Realty One Group, Gold Standard. Thank you so much. And Wijdan, who is the owner of Aladdin in McMurray. She's also the owner of Eadie's Market and Catering in downtown Pittsburgh. Thank you so much for being a part of Spill With Me, Jenny D. I thank you. And without further ado, I feel like I need a drum. So I have this beautiful guest today, Stephanie. Stephanie, introduce yourself to the listeners and viewers because I don't want to mispronounce your last name.
That's okay. It's Stephanie Ciranni.
I'm Italian. I should be Ciranni.
Okay.
How you doing? So, Steph, tell us a little bit about you. We were talking about this off air, but I want people to know before we get into what you do with your nonprofit and everything like that. Tell us about you and what you've been doing before you even began this. Like, are you from the Pittsburgh area?
Yes, I am born and raised in Pittsburgh. I live in the South Hills as well. I know that we live close because we go to the same gym, so I get the chance to see you. We never look like this, though.
No, if you're watching this on YouTube, we don't look like
this. So I've lived here my whole life. I have a daughter that my husband and I raised here, and we are empty nesters. But prior to working for Cancer Bridges, which is the organization that I am now the executive director of, I had worked in corporate America. I did a lot of business strategy, marketing, PR, but I had a real passion for a nonprofit, and I always found ways to get the organizations that I worked for connected to different opportunities to serve the community and give back. I mean, they were, making a lot of money and doing a lot of different things. And so I would often start giving committees and things like that. But I never fully felt that I was fulfilling what I wanted to do in that way when I worked in the for-profit world. And so I started volunteering on my own.
Now, when was this? Was this during? Because did you go to you went to high school in the South Hills?
I did.
And where did you go to college?
I went to Robert Morris, so I stayed local. Yep.
Yes. What was your major in Robert
My
Morris?
undergrad is in marketing and communications, and my master's is in organizational leadership. So I did both from there.
Oh wow!
You
got your master's.
Yeah, I did.
Congratulations!
Thank you. Later, I did my undergrad, got my feet wet in the working world, and then I went back once I knew that. I really believe that rising tides move all ships. So leadership was something that I was really interested in. So I went back. So long story short, I looked for opportunities on my own to volunteer. I came across an organization at the time that was called Our Clubhouse, which I started.
I've never heard of it.
Well, you have, because now it's Cancer Bridges.
Oh,
yes.
So wait, it was called
Our Clubhouse at the time.
Okay.
They started in 2006. And I was volunteering there. I worked their Valentine's Day dinner. I ran their front desk once or twice a month. I made dinner for members just as a volunteer. And I got to really know their staff and the organization. I was really passionate about the mission. And I just kind of started to integrate myself with them, honestly. And they knew what I did for a living. So I was able to help them in different ways with grant writing. I have a grant writing certification and just a couple different things that I could help them because they were a small staff. I think it was 5 or 6 people at the time. Fast forward I think it was about 2019 that the conversation started. I was not working there at the time, but to Our Clubhouse and another organization, it was called Cancer Caring Center, got together and started talking about how they were constantly referring members back and forth between the two organizations because one organization had more family and youth-centered programming, and the other organization had free counseling. And so if someone would come in for counseling at Cancer Caring Center, they'd say, oh, you have kids, you should go down to Our Clubhouse, which is down the street. So they just started these conversations and said, maybe we should merge the two organizations. And so that conversation started, maybe even before that actually. And then a couple different things happened. COVID.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
Right.
things really slowed down for them. But at that time, when they were going through the merger, the executive director at the time reached out to me and she said, I know what you do for a living. I know, where your skills lie because you've helped us with a few things. Would you come on as a consultant and help us? We're going to merge. We need to rebrand. We need a new website. We need, all these different things wrapped up there. And I was like, of course, we were at home. I had the time. I could do it after hours from my, my day job. And
During COVID, right?
during COVID. Yeah, it was in 2020.
Okay.
So I started having those conversations in that year. And then formally, they decided to bring on someone in that role in March of 2021. So I took the position as a marketing and communications manager in March of 2021. And then,
okay. So that was in March.
Mhm.
Okay, 2021.
Yeah.
And you were doing the marketing.
I came on to rebrand the organization. They hadn't formally merged yet. It was still in progress, waiting on the paperwork. And I was going to help with grants and any writing related, marketing related items that they needed. And then I went from marketing and communications manager to development director to interim executive director to executive director in 10 months.
Oh my gosh. But how were you doing that and doing your job?
Oh, I quit the other job.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I've heard of people doing both. I'm like, how do you do a nonprofit?
It was a perfect opportunity. It basically aligned my values. I worked in the corporate world, which I really liked. I was really good at. I did very well there, but I had this other piece. I've been a court-appointed special advocate in Allegheny County for many years, and we did a lot of different things with animal rescues, and just had a lot of passion for that work.
You have passion for caring.
Yeah. And so it was just an opportunity to bring those things together, and it was obviously a huge change, but we were also in the middle of COVID, and there was so much uncertainty about the world and life.
Right.
And
we're like, hello, are we going to
I was like, am I going to
die?
Yeah. Or am I just going to sit behind this computer forever doing, it just felt
and
like
not interact with people. I can't even tell you, Stephanie, how many women I've talked to that have during COVID have gone with corporate America and now they have their own business.
Yeah.
They're entrepreneurs or they're working for nonprofits or opening something new, stores, boutiques. Like I have met so many women. I feel that's how I started during COVID as well, because I was like trying to figure out what am I doing?
Yeah. And listen, corporate America, like we need these organizations. We need to build all of those things need to be present, especially to help our nonprofits, do the work that we do. But I do think that COVID provided an opportunity for more reflection because we had downtime. And I just think
I love that, more reflection.
Yeah, I just think there was an opportunity to think about what do I want my life to look like as we were all in our stretch pants and
I know
binge watching TV.
It was so scary, but then I enjoyed having my family. Every night we would have dinner, but it was that thinking to yourself, okay, if I'm not going to be here that many years or something comes up, I need to think about what value or what can I do? And that's how I struggle. I wanted to actually work for a nonprofit.
Yeah.
When I first started, I was like, I need to do something. I need to help people. I love talking to people. I love being around people. Yeah. I could not figure it out. And I thought, all right, I'm just going to be the place, the hosting site where people can come and share their stories and get it out there for education. But so in 2021, you were going up the ladder. Do we have the same nail color on?
Kind of. Almost.
We do. We're pink girls. But what were you? So 2021. What you were going up in like the ladder of with the nonprofit.
Yeah.
So what was your position then?
So during that time, I think I formally became executive director in March of 2022. So from 2021 to 22, we merged the two organizations. We were doing that in COVID, which was really wild, trying to get two teams integrated with each other and basically doubling the staff.
Bridges?
I get asked this question a lot.
I'm thinking, you want to guess? Let me guess what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there's so many bridges in Pittsburgh that has
nothing to do with it.
Really?
Listen, it's a great hook.
Yeah.
And like I said, I have a marketing background, so glad it gets people to. We are a Pittsburgh. Our headquarters are in Pittsburgh, so certainly we're surrounded by bridges. But we do serve the entire state of Pennsylvania, so we didn't want to. But really what Cancer Bridges means is cancer, obviously we wanted to be in the title so people could find us and obviously understand what our mission might be aligned with, which is cancer. But the bridge piece is about bridging an individual from either where they are and getting them to a new emotional state, a new physical state, increasing their social, being with other people and making sure that they're connected in some way. So that's a connection piece, but also bridging folks to the resources that they need. So if we can't offer something at Cancer Bridges, can we get them what they need, help them cross, over to the next thing that they, and also the bridge piece is related to the cancer experience. So Cancer Bridges has 200 free programs and services a month that we offer.
Oh, wow. A month?
A month, yes.
I was thinking a year. Oh my gosh.
No. 200 programs and services every month that we provide free of charge to the community. And the buckets that we serve, so people say like, oh, is it if you have cancer, you can come, or, what their relationship to cancer, but it's all of those things. So we have programming for a person with the diagnosis, of course, but we know through our work that cancer doesn't just touch the person that has the diagnosis. It's this whole, circle around them.
Yeah.
So caregivers, supporters, survivors, and also bereaved. And so that bridge is also, someone may come to Cancer Bridges as a caretaker.
Right.
And we have programming for them. We have a caregiver support group, and we have opportunities for them to connect with other caregivers. We have our caregiver community night that we're hosting next month, so the caregivers can be together and understand they're not alone. But there's a chance that they will then become bereaved.
Yes.
And so we can, not always, there's, so many advances and things, but that happens.
Right.
And so then we are the bridge. And if that happens, then we have this whole group of programming that we can offer them in that grief space.
Oh my gosh.
Same with diagnosed to survivor.
Yeah.
Or diagnosed to survivor and then back over the bridge with a recurrence. There's so many variations of, someone's experience with cancer. And so we just make sure that we have programming to bridge them, whether it's emotionally to where they want to be, or socially connected, or from experience to experience. So it does help the bridge. To long story short, Bridges certainly helps in the city of Bridges, but it was so much more about that connection. Between,
bridging the gaps between, so many different organizations. Oh, I'm sorry. But my biggest thing too is like, if somebody's listening, and this is really hard because I've talked to somebody who was a caregiver too, and I said, listen, you need to go somewhere. And I never know where to point them because they're a caregiver, but it may be for like dementia or for something else.
Sure.
So it had like, if somebody walked in and was like, I'm a caregiver, but it's not cancer. Like, that's my biggest thing is like, where do you go if you're just a caregiver for different kind of like things that are going on?
Yeah, we're really lucky, especially in Pittsburgh. We have so many wonderful nonprofits. It's just, there seems to be something for everybody.
Yes.
It's such a wonderful opportunity. And there is an organization called Hope Grows that works with caregivers. I know that's a wonderful organization. I don't know every circumstance, but also some of the, be surprised, I think a lot of organizations also handle those calls for referrals similar to Cancer Bridges, where if they don't offer it, but they're in that space, so say it is Alzheimer's, if you call the Alzheimer's Association, I bet they could connect the caregiver with a caregiver support group. Typically, and if that niche doesn't exist, that person should start it because someone else needs it.
I know.
That's the thing is like there's such
a need.
And so many people just think they're alone. That's what makes it set like, they're timid. They're like, I'm a caregiver and I'm not supposed to feel the way that I feel because this person has cancer and they're going through treatment. And that's just not, you can't fill an empty cup. How can you help somebody if you haven't helped yourself? So we have things like yoga. We have wellness activities and they're free. Not everything is like cancer themed. I think, if you look at the calendar of Cancer Bridges and those 200 programs a month, we have art classes and we have Reiki and oncology massage and yoga and
now, where
Zumba.
are all these classes at?
So it's a mix. So we do, we have our headquarters are in the Strip District. We have a 15,000 square foot building there. We have a Matt's Makerspace, art studio, 2 counseling rooms, a support group room, health and wellness studio, a huge community space, a teen room, an Austin's Playroom, and then a full kitchen. So we do a lot of our programming there in the building, but then we offer a lot online virtually. So it's a mix. We were fully in person before COVID. And then we couldn't wait during COVID to get off. Everyone was like, I'm so done with Zoom.
I know.
But the reality is whenever someone, maybe they had treatment that morning or something has changed with their transportation because they were relying on someone or something like that, or they don't feel well enough to drive. So we have, continued to weave the virtual component in with our programming to make sure that there's no barriers to getting the support that you need. So we also go out in the community. So we do a lot of our programming. We have a huge family and youth program. We serve, I don't think I said this before, but we serve all ages, all
I was
stages,
gonna
all
ask you that.
diagnoses.
Okay.
Yep. So there is no, there's really no limit to our membership. So, youngest I think has been 3 years old and oldest into the 90s. So we have a wonderful family and youth program that does
so amazing.
really similar programming. Our amazing family and youth manager, Bree, she does one-on-one counseling with whether it be the family, and it could be the child has a diagnosis or someone significant in their life has a diagnosis. And there's a lot of education and how do I talk to my child about this?
Gosh,
and how am I supposed to explain my cancer that mommy's going to be tired or grandma's going to be tired or dad's going to be sick or anticipatory grief, things like that. So all that is to say, like the family and youth program, they'll go out in the community. Last Friday, they partnered with Young Chefs Academy and did a pasta making night for our members and things like that. So we, and then also our programs, we have support groups. We have a couple in the South Hills. We do Living Life Post-Cancer Treatment Survivorship Program, which is in the hospitals and in the community centers. So lots of different opportunities we really try to make sure that people can find us and be served. I mean, it's free. And if you can, get a little, whatever you need out of it, whatever that looks like for that person, if we can provide it, that's what we're there for.
And like what you said before is, people feel alone.
Yeah.
If you are the person who was diagnosed with cancer, or if you're the caregiver, you feel alone and you feel like you have no one to talk to. And I remember talking to a couple of different people because I really try to talk about a lot of health things, because especially this year with women, but it was just like some people are like, oh, they feel isolated. And, it's like sometimes you just need to be around people that know what you're going through.
Exactly.
Because the worst thing is, and I try not to do this with people, is go, oh, I know what you're going through, because I don't.
Yeah.
And I think that makes it the hardest thing. And, most of the people that do have the nonprofits, they're doing it because they've seen somebody or they know somebody that has been through something, and they like, we need this.
Yes.
Our community, our state, we need this. I'm surprised you guys aren't in other states.
We're not in other states. We have such a need in Pennsylvania. We typically, on average, we're adding about 100 new members to our organization every month that are calling and looking for support. So we've served about 19,000 individuals in the history
19,000
in the organization.
in what, 4 years?
Oh no, not since merge, since the two combined.
Okay.
So for almost 30 years. But
okay.
Yeah, we add about 100. Although I will say, prior to the merge of the two organizations, between the two, it was maybe 20 to 25 new members a month, and that has quadrupled in the last 5 years. And we thought it was just because of the merge. We were kind of in the news. People knew it was happening, so people were finding out about us, and it hasn't slowed down one bit in 5 years, let me tell you.
Oh my gosh.
Which
I don't know if that's good or bad. Like,
that's what we always say. We say, because we set goals for ourselves. We want to make sure enough people are finding us. We have stats and do all this behind the scenes admin things. Our program team, our program director, she's on top of those things. And it's like, wow, this is amazing. We added 100 new members, because that means 100 new people found us last month. But the other side of that is 100 more people have either been diagnosed, or someone in their life has been diagnosed, or someone died in their life that was, had cancer. There's just a lot. There's a lot to hold in that feeling. So we're very aware of that.
I think that's the hardest thing. Is, when you do a nonprofit, because you probably do you get to socialize with some of the members, or are you behind the scenes because you're being the executive director?
Oh no, I socialize with them all the time.
Do you?
I love them. One was in my office yesterday to show off the sun catcher she made and steal a piece of candy off my desk.
Oh my God.
No, our members are the best. They're so appreciative of what they make it work. I mean, it's the mission, but it's also the reason we all show up every day and do the work that we do. We see the positive change in people from being together and participating in what we offer. And I mentioned a couple of those more seemingly fun activities. We have art classes, we have things, but we also offer free counseling, no insurance needed.
Oh my gosh.
We have licensed clinical, that was your question, was about Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
We have licensed clinical social workers on staff.
Okay.
And so while not everybody is a licensed clinical social worker, because of that, they're licensed in the state of PA. And so we have to be really mindful. We don't want to, when you break into others, they're not licensed in other states. So
that's true.
If someone from, West Virginia, despite it being probably takes less time to get there than some parts of Pittsburgh on a certain day, we're not licensed there. And so, but we have great referral partners in other states that do wonderful work that we can refer them out to. So, but the need is here. I mean, it's not for lack of wanting to. We want to help everybody,
Yes.
But yeah.
And I didn't realize see this shame on me because, I looked at your stuff and I knew about your stuff, but I didn't know. I thought it was for just adults. I didn't realize it was for, children too.
Yep.
Which makes it so much easier because everybody can come.
Correct.
Like you can go in this room and you can go over and get some counseling and you can, it
happens a
feels
lot.
Like a family.
It is
a family place to kind of have someone there to talk to that someone understands and other people that are going through it and kids that just warms my heart that you've got, and you've been doing this now for 6, 7.
Yeah, it'll be 5 years in September. We're going to have a big old birthday party.
Yes.
But one of the two organizations started in 1988 and the other in 2006. So we have a long history of, recognizing the needs in the community and making sure that we, address them, which is how we got to 200 programs a month. That was never a goal.
Right.
It was just you start offering programming and a lot of times it's driven by members. Our members will say they create these amazing communities amongst themselves, and you start to see people kind of like, are you going to go to that event? Let's go to this event together.
Yes.
How about this? We do education panels. So last night we had a big sarcoma education panel, and all these people were like, oh, hey, I saw you at, the hospital, or I saw you here. And they start to get to know each other, and it's amazing. And then they'll come to us or a program team and say, can we start a book club?
Yeah.
Can we start a coffee and chat? They have all these great ideas, and we're like, hey, if you can dream it, we'll make it happen.
Yes.
So, if it's within reason, it fits within the mission, we're typically
right.
So. And the same with recognizing the need amongst other categories. We have always been all experiences, but I think, we've really recognized certain categories over the last few years that would benefit from, what we do, and trying to grow membership within, within those groups has been important to us. So now we do a lot of men's programming. No, I know you're focusing on women this year, but they don't come and participate as much.
Usually,
as the women.
don't you feel like there's more women that are members because they're a little bit like, oh, I don't need it, or,
Yeah, I think for us too. Breast cancer is so prevalent, and so naturally there's larger numbers there. And to your point, I just think women get together and they're more maybe open to that kind of support. But I got to tell you, the relationships that we have seen amongst the men that are joining us, and we do a men's wellness event in November in partnership with Man Up to Cancer, which is an amazing organization. And just trying to, we did like putt-putt, and we did journaling and all these things, and they had such a good time. And we're excited to do it again this year. And we have a men's cancer support group, and those numbers are growing, and just glad that they're finding each other, and we can give them a safe space, So,
and it is, and it's almost like when people start talking to each other, and they're going through something. Hey, I've got a perfect doctor for you, or I've got someone for you. This is what opens up the conversations, and that's why, like, bringing this awareness, of what Cancer Bridges here on Spill With Me is. Also, there's people out there listening and going, wait a minute, I didn't even know this.
I know.
Because it's, so many things that I put out there that people are like, I didn't even, and I'm really like, wait, because if you're not going through it, or you don't know anybody that's going through it, then you're like, oh, okay, I don't need it. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
When you find out somebody in your family or a friend or somebody's going through it, you're like,
what do we
wait,
do?
Yes. We've got this for you. Like, you can have this organization. You can go there. You can go to the nonprofit, and you can be a part of a community.
And we're so lucky in Pittsburgh. We have incredible medical systems.
Yes.
And we want them to focus on the medical side. We want them to focus on the treatment, the needs of the patient, what they're going through, focus on that. But we want to be that other piece to make sure that, because we know there's a lot of other things that come with a cancer diagnosis, whether it's for that person or for the people around them. And so that's really why we exist, is just to fill that gap.
Right.
Yeah.
It's almost like, if somebody was listening right now and they were like, I know somebody, or I'm going through some treatment, but it doesn't, you show up. Do they call? Do they become a member? Like, how does that happen?
Yep. We use the word membership because it's not just patients. It's everybody. So they may not be a patient. So people always say, well, membership sounds like, is there a fee or something related to that? It's 100% free. No, nothing is exchanged, including insurance. It's 100% free. And there's a couple different ways they can get connected. They can absolutely give us a call. We have a short membership form that just lets us know what their experiences is, what their experience has been, whether it's they're diagnosed, they're caretaking for someone, they're bereaved, etc., so that we can connect them appropriately with the programming that makes sense.
Right.
So we are happy to mail that to them, or they can just visit the website. It's cancerbridges.org.
Okay.
Very simple to fill out a form and become a member. Or they can stop in. We're in the, we're there in the Strip District. They can certainly stop in. And
where are you in the Strip? I'm trying to.
We're at 2816. So we're at 29th. So I always relate it to. Do you remember where Clavon's ice cream was? I feel like everybody knows.
I feel
where
like
that was. So on Penn, where Clavon's is, the back of our building sort of butts up against that, but we're right in there by Smallman Street Deli.
Yeah, I thought it was Smallman Street. Okay.
I will tell. My experience has been it's always wherever the construction. It seems to be.
I know, right?
But that being said, we have a beautiful parking garage. We have free parking, so we up to 3 hours of free
right there. Because even me living in Pittsburgh my whole life, I hate going downtown. I hate going to the Strip if I can't find parking.
Yep.
But this is wonderful. I didn't know. I thought that they, like you guys had a little headquarter, and then people would just go to all these different places and try to find each other.
Yeah, you have to come down next time. Record from there.
I know.
Bring you down. Yeah.
Well, your birthday, so it's in September. Okay.
We have our birthday bank. I think we're gonna do. We haven't planned it completely out yet, but yeah, we'll do a little fundraiser for that. But in May is our wine tasting. So I will say we're completely independent. We are just Cancer Bridges stands alone with its own EIN. We're not under a hospital or anything like that. So we do a lot of fundraising at Cancer Bridges, but we make it really fun.
Yes.
So we have a wine tasting in May. We have a golf outing, which is here in the South Hills, which I'm always thrilled about because we have to be there at like the crack of dawn. So I love that it's at Valley Brook because I can get there. And so we have that. We have a big gala in November that's, our big fancy night out. And then before that, actually at the end of summer is our friends and family, our family-related carnival. So that's for our youth and family program. It raises money for that. So yeah, so if you're ever, looking for something to do, and a lot of those happen at the facilities.
Yes. Now, besides your fundraising, do you have like a lot of supporters, like partners that are really helping? Because that's what you need. When you have these free activities, like, you're still out there trying to get, you have to. So you have a lot of the community helping out?
Oh, absolutely. We're very lucky with the support that we have. We raise money, again, through those events. We write a lot of grants. We have an incredible development team. Meg, our development director, I don't know how she keeps it all straight. Sometimes she talks to me and she's like, I just told you about that. I'm like, okay. Because I'm sure you did, but I can't.
Yes.
I don't know how she keeps everything in her brain.
She's in her lane.
Oh my goodness. She keeps us all in line.
Yes.
But yeah, her and her team, they do a great job. We do write a lot of grants. And then we have all of our fundraising events. And then, yes, we have individual donors and people that make, or different organizations that will, put on an event for us, or some of the school districts, will have a pink out day, or some, independent senior did a cornhole tournament. It was like cornhole for cancer, like named it something really cute and raised money for us. I mean, we wouldn't exist without the support of the community. Again, we don't accept insurance. We're not state funded, federally funded. So we get scrappy. Yeah. Yes. But we're lucky. We definitely have a lot of support.
I love that. Yeah. And, I can see the passion,
thanks.
In your eyes when you're talking about it, because it's like, and that's what I love about what I do. Cause I'm like, I'm learning so much. And I'm like, wait a minute, because Pittsburgh, like you said, we have so many nonprofits, but we have to be able to know, okay, this one does this one does that. And yours, like, I'm just learning this now. This is great because it's for everybody.
Yeah.
You don't
no stopping us.
Yeah.
We get a lot of questions, as part of maybe grant writing, or people ask me if I sit on panels or things like that, what's the future look like for you? Or what's the future look like for the organization? And of course we know, because we have a strategic plan and we have all kinds of things.
You seem organized.
Yeah, we're very organized. We know exactly what the future looks like, but in reality, we're hoping one day we all get to pack up our desks and go, okay, well, there's no more need for us because cancer doesn't exist. But that's just not the reality. And so we're glad that we're able to meet that need through our work and be able to help, like I said, everybody, all ages. Also, I mean, that's the whole family comes, and or husband and wife come, and husband's a caretaker to a diagnosed wife, or what. So we've seen every iteration that you can think of, and we have something for everybody, which we're very proud of.
Right, and it's almost like I know I don't think this can happen, but maybe it does. Like even in like all the hospitals and stuff, if there was like pamphlets to give to people, like, hey, do they do that?
Oh yeah.
Oh good.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if that was allowed or not, because it's not like you're selling something; you're giving them a free service of like, hey, listen,
yes,
I know what you're going through, but or not know what you're going through, but hey, if you need some help and some support. Cancer Bridges.
And we have great partnerships. I mean, we're both from the South Hills, so St. Clair Hospital. We work closely with them. We actually offer a caretaker support group and an in-person yoga class at their facility on 19, the Peters Township location.
Yeah.
They're wonderful partners of ours that allow us to, and we kind of have those pockets all around, like north, south, east, west, that we work with different hospitals to get there. But then we do work with all the hospitals. We try to get our pamphlets out to all of them. But again, the medical organizations in Pittsburgh, they couldn't be more supportive of us.
We
couldn't be better.
And
they're such good partners, and they so appreciate what we do. And we're happy to take it off there. They have somewhere that they can help. I mean, people are coming in and potentially the worst day of their lives and having these conversations, and to be able to say, here's a safe, supportive, welcoming environment for you to go to and get what you need. I mean, and then we also feel very good about putting ourselves out there in that way, because we are the staff. We're 12 women. It's a small staff.
Oh, it's women. Okay, it's all women.
It's not on purpose, but that is how it is right now. I just stand on their shoulders in terms of the way that I see them interact with our members, and all those members that fill out those forms are called. They get a phone call within 48 hours to say, did you receive the follow-up email? Can you get connected to the calendar? Are you able to do anything I can help you with? Do you want to come do a tour? I mean, they're just, to have 100 new members a month, and every single one is getting a one-on-one call and getting connected to what they want to get connected to, and making sure that we get to know them and support them and kind of know their story is important to us, and that helps us.
And knowing their story, my gosh, I could just come to your place and just listen to everybody, because everybody's got probably such an amazing story of what they've been through and where they are. Like that, to me, it's like they don't, anytime I talk to anybody that's had cancer, they always say their outlook on life is so different. They want to be around people. They don't want to isolate themselves, because that just, you got to live. You have to make sure that you're not sitting at home by yourself, because it can be isolating when you're alone and not knowing, but finding new friends. Because I feel like almost like Pittsburgh, I don't know. I know other states are like this too, because I am nationwide, but being here, born and raised, but don't you feel like we are just so helpful? Like somebody needs, when you need directions, what do we do?
Like the friendliest people.
Yes.
We
really
so friendly,
are.
Except when it comes to merging on bridges. Why people can't figure that out, I'll never understand.
No, please.
On my way here, I was like, but I'm following the rules. I'm just trying to I'm not sneaking.
I feel like I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
Poor Pitt. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Every time.
People were coming over and not letting you in. And I'm like, whoa.
But if I needed directions, that guy would help me, but he won't let me in.
No, he won't let you in. It's so funny you said that, because I was just in town last week, and it was just, I was like, I wanted to blog it and be like, geez, oh man, I'm sitting there in traffic, and all these people are trying to get up in the front. And they're just like,
I know.
But it's, when we talk about traffic, that's another
that's
story.
A different conversation, different day.
That's another story.
Yeah. So.
I just feel like that this, I could not believe when you said you have all these 200 activities a month.
Yep.
And they're all different, and you've got everything. Oh my gosh. And 12 women they're doing all this together?
Well, we have an incredible facilitators and volunteers. So
I was going to say, 12, do you have a lot of volunteers?
We do. I mean, I always joke, nobody wants me teaching them watercolor painting or whatever, or anything like that. That's not, but we have these wonderful people that work in our creative expression classes and run our yoga classes and facilitate our support groups, and all the medical professionals that kind of step in and help us in that way. So we work, the entire staff works very, very hard to make sure that calendar is updated. Every member is getting a call. The facility and the programming is, where we want it to be, but we could not do what we do without volunteers, even from running our front desk and answering the phone. I mean, we don't have a secretary.
Yeah.
So having a warm, person on the other line when you call someone like, I mean, those are volunteers,
Yeah, it's always press 1, press 2.
No. But we always tell them, just don't worry. When you answer, you say your name and say, I'm a volunteer. You do get to say it just in case. But so we I stand on the staff's shoulders because they do it all. And then they certainly are, lifted by the volunteer support. So even, setting up and taking down, we are working with some medical students right now, and they stayed yesterday to help take down all the tables and chairs from the education panel that we hosted and things like that. Because otherwise it's us. We're moving, I saw them, we were washing tablecloths and breaking down constantly. Yeah. The place never looks the same with all the different activities that we have. So
it's a lot of work.
Yeah. And we have someone who, Alyssa, she's wonderful. She oversees, coordinating all our volunteers and making sure that we have people for every activity. And we have committees for different fundraisers. So if someone is passionate about collecting baskets, and that's going to raise money at our wine tasting or gala, then they can do that if they, we have so many opportunities. So I think last year it was, I can't remember the number offhand, but it was between 3,000 and 3,200 hours of volunteer hours that were provided to Cancer Bridges. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We're
very lucky.
I feel like that, having this is just bringing so many people together, and it's a family thing. That's what I feel like Pittsburgh's about. We're a family.
Yeah.
And when someone is down and out, or someone's not feeling good, or somebody's a caregiver, or the children need the support of, family member that had cancer or that has cancer. I'm like just amazed by so many programs that you have for everybody.
Community. Yeah. There's so much great community. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Now, is there anything else that we did not touch on?
Oh my goodness, I don't think so. I think we hit on, it's just, recognizing that Cancer Bridges is available to anybody that needs our support. And if we don't offer it, we are connected with so many other nonprofits that might be able to help in so many different ways. We, provide programming to anyone in the state of Pennsylvania, and, we're here for whatever someone needs. So
that's amazing. So if you're listening and you heard this episode and you know someone who has gone through cancer or is going through cancer, or family members or caregivers or anyone, or you even want to volunteer, so cancerbridges.org is the best way to get a hold of you.
It's cancerbridges.org or 412-338-1919, or we're on all the socials. So follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We post about all the different programs that we offer so that you can get a feel for what we do, as well as fundraisers if you're interested in participating or joining a committee. So we're kind of all over the place, wherever someone needs us. So
I'm so excited. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
She's running. She's got like another meeting, and she came here to talk to me. You're so busy. I so appreciate your time.
Oh my gosh, please. I'm happy to be here with you. And I'll see you at the gym.
I know, right? Well, we're going to do our weights.
That's right.
Hey, you got to think about your health too.
I do. That's what gets me. That community
Yes.
It's just like what I see at Cancer Bridges. I feel better when I,
right.
Of course, not just physically, but just, I feel like
it's for your mental health as
totally
well.
For your
when you
health,
leave there, it's an hour. You don't have to think. They have the workout for you.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, I just complain a lot. Like, I don't want to lift this weight. I don't want to do the rope today.
I know.
Or the sled. But no, I'm so glad that we got in touch with each other through, Stronger, and that I got to find out more about what you do in Cancer Bridges. Thank you so much for all of you out there that are doing so many amazing things for the community. I appreciate you.
Thanks. Appreciate you too. Thanks, Jenny.
Honey. Well, this was another episode of Spill With Me, Jenny D. Take care.
Come spill with me. Come spill with me. Come spill with me.